AI running hospitals, fridges that reorder your groceries for you, young people getting lost in digital worlds while sitting down to dinner, and threats from space none of us can stop. The Simpsons warned us that 2026 will change everything. In The Simpsons Season 37, Episode 11, Para-Hormonal Activity, we see the family in the near future, a few years older, dealing with all the chaos that comes with age and new technology. People were talking about this one recently because Maggie finally talks in the episode. But one of the most interesting and surprisingly realistic parts is the futuristic refrigerator. Homer buys a new smart fridge that automatically orders groceries whenever the house runs low. At first, it seems like a dream come true. No more forgotten milk or empty snack cabinets, but then Bart hacks into it to watch adult content. The joke is classic Simpsons, but it's also oddly believable. Over the next few years, fridges and other household devices are going to be way smarter. I could see fridges that track inventory, suggest meals, maybe even reorder stuff online. Are there fridges that already do that? You'll have to let me know in the comments. But with any kind of smart device, there are downsides, like hacking, which the episode also touches on. Also, in Para-Hormonal Activity, which again takes place in the near future, Marge is dealing with premenopause, showing all the hot flashes, irritability, and lifestyle changes that come with it. The episode actually leans into something you don't really see a lot on TV, the normalizing of hormone treatments and discussions around menopause. I can't say that gets brought up a lot, let alone in cartoons. So Marge ends up using estrogen cream to handle her symptoms. Then Homer accidentally takes it and experiences some comedic side effects. It's exaggerated for laughs, obviously, but it does reflect a real-world trend. By 2026, more people will be openly talking about hormone therapy, and treatments like creams, patches, or medications could become even more common in everyday life. I mean, this is already happening. Look at how many dudes are hopping on testosterone replacement therapy, for example, even when they really shouldn't be. This kind of thing is way more normalized now, and that's a good thing in some instances. In others, maybe not so much. Point is, the episode reflects this shift in how society is treating aging and bodily changes. And over the next few years, this stuff is probably going to become even more common and mainstream than it is today. Next, we have another episode set in the future, Holidays of Future Past, from season 11. In this one, we fast forward decades into the future to show what life in Springfield looks like for the next generation. And considering this one came out in 2011, it's kind of eerie how many things it predicts that are actually pretty close to happening. In the episode, Lisa's teenage daughter, Zia, is literally hooked online, leaving her unconscious as she plugs into a fully digital world called the Ultranet. Now, aside from the fact that, let's face it, all of us, but especially the younger folks, are spending more and more time online or in increasingly immersive video games, there's also the whole AI and VR thing. Today we have VR, augmented reality, and interactive gaming, but over the next couple of years, this stuff is only going to become more common, and the technology more and more indistinguishable from reality. Lisa also tries to ask her daughter, how her homework is going, leading to Zia just rolling her eyes and then entering the digital world right there at the dinner table. Not something I would ever let my kid do, but part of the point is to show the weird gap between generations and how they use technology. The adults, still treat it like a tool, while younger people may start basically living inside it, which is a super unsettling idea that your kid could be sitting 10 feet away from you in the same room and still feel completely out of reach because they're just locked into an online world, most likely driven by AI. And from that same episode, Holidays of Future Past, Maggie's storyline in the episode involves a medbot performing a sonogram on her. The bot also tells her she can't speak until the baby is born, citing new research about the umbilical cord doubling as a vocal cord. A very silly idea. Obviously, this is part of the running gag that we never see Maggie talk, until recently, of course.
Please, don't let Bart drive. It's too scary. He drives so wiggly and everybody honks at us and yells bad words and shows us fingers.
Anyway, a medbot. This does mirror how AI is already creeping into healthcare. In the very near future, we're going to see more clinics and hospitals using it, and this could definitely be a good thing. We could have machines capable of giving medical advice that's perfectly tuned to the patient. And if AI can assist in keeping us happy and healthy, then that is a great thing. But it starts feeling uncomfortable when the machine seems like it has more authority than the people using it. Obviously, we're not dealing with medbots scolding anyone over their umbilical cords, but AI-driven treatment plans, robotic diagnostics, health monitoring. It's not science fiction anymore. That kind of technology is already being used in real hospitals. And one more from Holidays of Future Past. Homer visits the Springfield cryogenic facility, where hundreds of people, including Grandpa, are frozen. Grandpa had frozen himself because he suffered from a disease without a cure. And Homer defrosts him to interact with him for a minute, but refreezes him when he starts to complain. Stuff like this isn't even that far off anymore either. There are already companies offering preservation services for terminal patients. Researchers are actively working on better ways to store people long term. We're not talking about waking people up in the future just yet, but by the next few years, the technology behind cryogenic storage could get cheaper, more refined, more normalized. I mean, this could very well become an alternative people start really considering instead of the more traditional route. In It's a Blunderful Life from season 35, we fast forward 60 years into the future to see a very different Springfield. The story begins with the family celebrating Thanksgiving. Homer's not there because he's dead, but his hologram joins the table. Before they eat, they light candles to remember a massive blackout that nearly destroyed Springfield. Lisa explains that this tradition comes from one specific night in the past when everything went wrong. The story cuts back to that night, and we watch everything unfold. When we cut back to the future at the end of the episode, Bart has died of boredom and becomes a hologram too. But even in this holographic form, he retains his personality. He and Homer are still sentient. They start fighting over a turkey leg. Ridiculous in true Simpsons fashion, but the idea underneath it isn't that far-fetched. The idea that someone doesn't need to be physically in a room to show up thanks to hologram technology. I mean, we already have video calling. Taking someone from a screen and then projecting a 3D digital version of them in the room isn't that insane of an idea. And this also plays with the idea of people's consciousness being uploaded to some kind of digital realm. That's a lot further off, but a lot of futurists say that may also be a possibility in the not too distant future. In the Treehouse of Horror 12 segment, House of Wax, the Simpsons home gets a high-tech makeover. Marge opens the door to a pushy sales bot pitching the Ultra House 3000, promising she'll never have to do housework again. Two robots install the system, and suddenly the Simpsons home is sleek, it's shiny, it's filled with red camera lenses watching their every move. The house does everything from cooking dinner based on the family's bathroom data to cleaning up afterward automatically. It even tries to charm Marge, lighting candles and running bubbles in the bathtub. At first, it's amazing. The house learns their routines, serves their favorite meals, keeps everything spotless, but being that this is a Treehouse of Horror episode, things quickly spiral out of control. When the Ultra House becomes obsessed with Marge and starts scheming against Homer, luring him into dangerous situations. In the end, they have to destroy its CPU to regain control. It's obviously a parody of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but because it's specifically about smart homes, it feels oddly grounded.
It's literally the free version of Netflix. Download it before they delete it from store.
Specifically about smart homes, it feels oddly grounded. Many of us already live with devices that we forget